okay. Ayok pe adechet. Hoi chichepti to ka haya. Awoche ke tiste dum kapte. Ate wa kanta ka hechet. Awonya kapte. Ki apte hechet hoya wa kikte. Before we start our session this afternoon, I want to say greetings to all of you that may be listening to this session at a later time, or maybe some are listening already. But we will start firstly with a prayer. We'll ask Creator to be with us, to guide us, and to help us. And we will say that prayer. Hechitu. Haunka to kanta kito. Ake na mechich on hechit. Ape to a tokcho yakope hede. Awopide ichichi. Onka hechet Dakota oyatichi dina. Ake wichahada hechet. Ode hoye chichido. Onka ato kanta kaunshunki dapo. Aikshe wichashta o Dakota yakaka. Awichoy wa wichoch on hechet akichi yekto yakope. Oina dahan o kikpani maune. Onka dina echa on kikikcho chimpe. Dakota Iapi Dakota wichoch o unyeke dina. Aiwo dakapte. Tuwe okihi hechitu dakika. Dina iza hamade hedich ega ekta. Tuwe heche tawachinka hina atawa kantaka. Oya kikte do aya heche. Ape tuke de hoi chichi. Chanshon kidapo Dakota Lakota Nakota kidina. Hawa chioni apido. Hawa tokata ki wichoy chake kidina Dakota yapte. Heche don chimpi chadechid. Skompe. Ohina unshun kidaba. Ki apo ya to kantaka apetu kinde uyakope wopid ichichido. Homitaku ki dina was. Hohechitu Dakota wichoch an Iapi. Dakota tradition. Anything of importance of a gathering. Oed wochikia. Tu han kawita aukahan. Oed wochikia tuwe yohanaj. Atawa kantaka hoye kie. For guidance. Tokatakia awichapt. Guidance. Napata yus tokatakia. Awichayek ta heche dapi. Che heche non kupi Dakota kinde. Heche on. For that reason, heche on. Dakota wochiki kinde. Osaga haduha. Skompe. For that reason. We keep the prayers of Dakota with that understanding to guide us moving into the future. Today is January 7. Yesterday I was here. Yesterday. I was here and then I gave a lot of words of encouragement. Put it that way. Minehedich iapo. Take courage. Minehedich iapo. Oyatike. Aya hechir wahiatake. Chtani. I sat here with words of encouragement. What you should consider. Taku idukchankte. What you should consider when you're thinking about the language. Is that applicable today? Do we need it today? Dakota Iapkinde, hohinach, umpta yechicha, ish wana umpta yechichishne. Should we still use it? Do we still need the language? Or do we not need it? We should not use it. I believe that each and every one of us that thought of that, hey ha. We look at both sides. Yes, as I've said before yesterday, we can survive without a Dakota language? Yes, we can. But if all of us do not speak the language, and I talked about a couple of laws or statutes that were made by Queen Victoria yesterday. Enfranchisement Act is one of them. To make the Indian something different legally. To take the Indian status, legal status of Indian away. When that happens, we can still survive, but we will have difficulties. Life will be a little bit difficult. Because once you are not considered not an Indian legally in Canada, those services that we enjoy, and I've talked about this before over and over and over. Those services that we enjoy, that we get from Iapi, from Tonkanshi, the government. The services that they gave us because we are legally Indians, and it's in the agreements, that some are going to be, some of these things of daily life are going to be funded. Let's say education will be funded if you remain an Indian, if you are an Indian. Health costs, some health costs will be funded by the federal government. Housing, you get a free house if you are an Indian, considered a legal Indian. And there's a number of things like that that we enjoy, makes our lives a little bit better, management-wise. If I go to Otoenta Bedekte, Pijuta Wichashta, the medicine man in town, Hechia Bedekte, I'll go over there under the health department. Brandon Hechia, Oioheta, crossing the river. Brandon, Oioheta, Hechia Bedekte. I'll go over there. Pijuta Wichashta Abadakikta, I'll go see the medicine man. I don't feel good. Well, because I'm an Indian, legally, the federal government, through the department here in health, they'll pay my gas to go over there. They'll pay my gas over there, or they'll take me over there. I don't have to spend anything, because that's the agreement, as long as I'm an Indian. I'll go see the Pijutu Shasta, their doctor, and then I come back. I don't have to pay for that. What if I need an operation of some sort? What if I need to go to the hospital, say in the ambulance? All those cost money. But we don't pay for it because we're Indian, considered a legal Indian. These are the services that I'm talking about, that are there through agreement because you're an Indian, a legal Indian, and these agreements apply to you. So what if someday you are not considered an Indian anymore? Now every time you go to Oyo geta Pijutu Chashtawagdeka, Maza Sky Exuk, the Sichampo Ayadita Tank, you're gonna check your pocket, see if you have enough to go to Brandon, to pay for your fuel, your gas to get there and back. What if I have to go there in the ambulance? Who pays for that? We or the community pays for it. Because we're not considered not an Indian anymore. An Indian nation, Ikchewichashta is an Indian. Dakota is who we are, identity. We are a nation. What is a nation? A nation has a territory. An Indian nation has a territory. In that territory, there's citizens. In the citizenry, there's a government. In this government, there's a language. And then in this citizenry, there's a religion or a form of prayer. These things that you have to satisfy as a Dakota nation. That's what protects us. Now, what if some of these things we don't have anymore, like the culture, like the language? Then we'll be quasi-sovereign Indians. Quasi, not fully, but a little bit. So these are things that are going to be considered once the laws of Queen Victoria in 1869 apply in Enfranchisement Act to make the Indian like somebody else legally. So these are things that I mentioned yesterday that you should consider if you're thinking, can we survive without the language and the culture? Yes, but it'll be difficult. You won't be considered an Indian anymore. You'll be considered something else, legally. And these are the kinds of things that I worry about. I worry a little bit. I'm scared a little bit for the future generations. So I encourage those of you that might listen to this session to consider those things. Because we want to protect our next generation that might require a house, that might require to go to Brandon Oyereta to see Pijuta, which has a doctor, that they have a means to get over there. If they don't have the funds themselves, as long as they're Indian, it'll be paid for, because that's the agreement. So consider these things not only for yourself, but for the next generation, 7 generations, as they say. Wichoichare is a generation. Wichoichare is a generation. I spoke about Sitting Bull yesterday. We're going to speak. What kind of life we can make for our children. We going 7 generations. Are we the 7 generations now? Well, I think we are. We're thereabouts anyways. We must do the same. For the governments of Dakota, the chief Wipazokawakpa, the chief Gakia, Dakota Tipi, Tinta Hanska, long prairie, Tinta Hanska, Dakota Plains, Tinta Hanska. Tinta is a prairie. Hanska is a long prairie. Chanopawakpa, Pipestone River. Chakaga Utina, those people that live under the bridge. Bird tail. Sitkara Sinte. On Saskatchewan, Hechiija, Dakota Yakap, Tatankananji. Wood Mountain, Irureakap, Dakota, Lakota. Wapahaska, Whitecap. Wachpetuma, Wapitan, Round Plain. They're not Donkotap. We Tanaunjaba, Hiupo, Yotakapo. Wohdakapti will talk. Yotakapo. Downkotapi, Yohdakapti. Dakota Tokateki, Ochocha, Shakoin, Toket, Kedunkichi, Japunkitako, Jakapakopi. Our children, our grandchildren. How are they going to go forward as Indian? Any Wohdakapti will talk about this. That should be done. Vitaya waichum the unity, vitaya unite. That needs to happen. As a nation, if we are, why don't we have, these are just ideas, why don't we have our own Dakota University? That's a good idea, huh? Why can't we have a Dakota University? And government is going to pay for it anyway. Reconciliation, remember? What they have done wrong, they're going to make right. Of course, the apology, I'm sorry, was said last year. Okay, you apologized. Now what? What have you taken away from us? You thought you took land away, but no, you didn't. But you took language and culture away. Now we want to, we will put that together, put it back again. So now you must help us reconcile. Reconcile is kind of like a financial term, I would say, like reconciling your books, you know. What's wrong with it? Is this correct? Is this right? Is this wrong? We can say, yeah, it's easy to say, no, it's wrong. You took our language and our culture, now we want to rebuild it. So now we want our university somewhere local or central, maybe Yorkton, somewhere, you know. Make a university or a college. For Dakota, that's possible, we can do that. Full immersion. Let's do it. But we need collective mind. We come together, put our minds together, put a plan forward. I think that's a possibility. Wo'okihi wadake. Wo'okihi is it can be done. Wo'okihi. If you want to protect the continued Indian for our Dakota, these things need to be done. But it's up to you too as an individual. To know and to understand that language is so important. Culture is so important. To remain who you are so that these agreements will not stop, will go forward into the future. There are agreements that we have with the federal government, with the monarchy. These are, I think, some things to contemplate. Wo inina unkapche 7 sacred rites or 7 laws, you know, unkapche. Wa wohoda, wa wokia, wa unshida, bidihedich ewash akedina. There's one particular one in there that I favor today. Mishi yomokpe. Wo inina Iapi. Inina means shh, be quiet. That's what inina means, shh, be quiet. Inina. But in this understanding of that word, inina, wo inina, means not to just be quiet, to shut up, no. It means to sit quietly. Wo inina, sit quietly. Think about whatever particular reason why you're doing a wo inina, the environment around you. Whether it's a political environment or social environment, whatever it may be, that's causing concern. Wo inina yechungte. You're going to use wo inina. It means to sit and contemplate, to think about this thing of concern. To think, contemplate. And you'll understand what the problem is, and you can formulate a plan to alleviate that problem. That's what woinina means. We will use that because we have it. It is our law. It is one of our guiding principles. So hina iwoa hadakawachin. I want to talk about those. Hina iwoa hadakawachin. Remember yesterday I talked about less writing over here, more talking. For you to hear the spoken word over and over and over again. Epamakekte, unije hapte. Hina hechich unskompt. Kian heche. Oyakach nigapt. Numpkaha, if you use it, oyakach nigapt. The spoken word, nachukte, ehekt. Ish uge dawapte. There's a lot of Dakota material written in Dakota. If you want to read some of them, I know some of you have problems in pronouncing the words. How do you say this? H with a mark or whatever. You know, it's not an ordinary H. It's a or G with the dot or the line on top. The guttural sounds. If you want to read those kinds of written form, there's a vowel system. I think this vowel system was also done by these writers, John P. Williamson. Yesterday I talked about that. John P. Williamson. Stephen R. Riggs. This is Dakota to English, English to Dakota. Uspenic chapter. Dena number uspenic chapter. Like say here, heartburn. Okay? You might feel a heartburn if you ate too many tacos or something like that. You know, you feel a heartburn. But what does heartburn say in this English to Dakota? Heartburn. See, I was correct. It says chante yazan. His heart is hurting. It's not a heart attack. It's a heartburn. Chante yazan. But it's spelled Canteyaazan. C, the letter C is always a ch, ch sound. Ch. Always, 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 always. So, heartily. Remember heartburn? Heartily. Chante washtea. Heartily. Good-naturedness. Washte. Chante mawashte. I'm good. Chante, I'm good. Mawashte. I feel good. Chante wanicha. Heartless. Chante wanicha. You don't have no empathy. Takurishni. Nothing. Chicha. Heartless. Chante wanicha. No heart. You don't have no empathy, no helping, nothing. You just, whatever, you know. So when you want to read these things in Dakota written form, you have to know the vowels to pronounce them correctly. And here, I put down the vowels. In English, the vowels are A, E, I, O, U. For those same vowels in English, there's a Dakota pronunciation for those words, for those vowels, for those letters. A is pronounced as ah. A is always pronounced as ah in the written Dakota word, ah. E is always an ah, and e. E is always pronounced e. Like say, hey, e. I, A-E-I, I is always pronounced as an E sound, E. E naji. E otaka. Those words are spelled with the letter I. E otaka, E naji. Starts with the letter I. You pronounce that as E, E, A-E-I. O is just the regular O sound, O. And U is pronounced as an oo sound, like in the English word who, ooh, like that. If you want to read in Dakota. So I thought I'll write that so that you can use that to properly pronounce the Dakota words. One thing that I've always heard the individuals that have difficulty in pronouncing properly as a reason not to use the Dakota language. I can't say it. I can't say it. These are the reasons, false reasons, I would say, of not using that language. The only way to know how to say it is if you do it. You're laughing at me. Do. Ye is the female version of saying it. Do is the male version of saying the word. Will be a female saying it. Do will be a male way of saying it. And that's an excuse that they use. When I was growing up as a young boy, I made lots of mistakes learning the Dakota language, and a lot of the language that was used by the adults at 5, 6 years old, I didn't understand what they're talking about. But as I grew older, then every time I hear that word, I always wonder and look at the actions of the people that are using there. What are they doing? And then that's how I learned. I learned by listening, watching, and the reaction of that word. That's how I learned. But of course, back then, 70 years ago, everybody spoke it. Everybody spoke the language. Dakota language is so beautiful. We went to Rapid City, Black Hills. 2010 and 2011. At the supper break, we went to a local restaurant, and the family and our friends, we went and sat at the table close to the smorgasbord there. And we're talking Dakota, we must have been talking loud, having enjoyable supper. And this Asian lady, a middle-aged Asian lady, was coming with her plate, and she stopped here. She turned around and she greeted us in her language. And then she spoke in English. And she said, "What kind of language are you speaking? It sounds beautiful." So we explained to her that is our language, the language of Dakota that we are using. "Oh," she said, "I want to tell you, you have such a beautiful language." Now that's coming from a person that does not know our language, how these words are pronounced, right? How they're said, and that gave me an opportunity to really listen to the Dakota language, and it is a beautiful language. So let us not forget it. Unkakik tungjapteshni. We, you, and I, and everybody, unkakik tungjapteshni. We will all not lose it. We won't forget it. Because it is important, it is beautiful language, but legally, we need it too, to remain Dakota, Dakota Unyakupte, because that is under attack right now from the powers that be. So yesterday, I spoke on those. What you must consider for yourself why language is important. So again, I'm reiterating that today, and I'll keep on doing that. I'll keep on reminding you how important language is for the next generations, whether they're going to remain Indian, enjoying those agreements that we have with the federal government. Is that going to continue? You're going to ensure that it continues by you learning and you're teaching the Takojas. When I go here and there in the community of Wipazakawakpa, Sioux Valley, like say the local government or the gas bar or the gaming center, I listen. Ana hupta. Dwe Dakota I ahe. Who's speaking Dakota? Here and there, you hear it a little bit. But you know, I know who talks Dakota and who won't. Well, when I go to those places, those Takojas, the grandchildren that work there, I know some of them by looking at them because I know who they are, but I don't know their names. But when I go, like say to the gas bar, the Takojas that work there, I try to speak a little bit Dakota to them. Tokudia, oh, how are you doing? Tak tokunu, what are you doing? Wakahandi wikshimana numwachi. I want $20 worth of wakahandi, the petrol, the fuel. Like little words like that. I know they're accepting that, you know. I know. So I give them encouragement. And I know they try. But these places, these service places, like the gas bar and the administration building, whether it's the admin itself or the health, the greeters, I would say, it's like the Walmart greeters, you know. Hey, how are you? You know, have a nice day. You know, how can I help you? You know, like these kinds of things. The greeters, like they say, the receptionist at the administration building. I've encouraged them, and I speak a little bit of Dakota there. And when I hear them responding to me, wanting to learn or say the words, I compliment them, I encourage them. And I think last year, I talked a little bit about this also. How should the greeters greet the people walking in? The receptionist will know who's walking in if that person is from here that can speak the language. Well, for that matter, they should use the language first anyway, because we're a nation here. If we go to France, we go to the government of France and you walk in, they're not going to say, hello, how are you doing? They're not going to say that. They're going to speak to you in French. If you go to China, you go to their government office, whatever, you walk in, they're not going to speak to you in English. They're going to speak to you in Chinese, Asian language. So it should be here too. The Dakota reserves, Dakota nations. when somebody walks into the government building. The greeter, the receptionist, should know a little bit about Dakota to greet them in Dakota. How are you doing? Due wadaka yachin hai. Who do you want to see? Due wadaka yachin. Who do you want to see? And if that person happens to be from here, Dakota, he'll say something like, Chief Wabadaka Wachin. I want to see the chief. Or slightly different version of that, Chief Wayag Wahi. I come to see the chief. Chief Wayag Wahi. Chief Wayag Wahi. I come to see the chief. And then the receptionist might say, washte, iataka wo. As the male would say, iataka wo. The female will say, iataka. Sit down. Sit down there. Iataka. Doshta, I will. Call them. Let them know that you're here. Doshta, I will tell them that you are here to see, to speak to the chief or to the council or one of the administrative staff there. How cool would that be, huh? When you go to our administration building, the young Takojas that are working there, they speak and greet to you in Dakota. Oh. How are you doing this day? I'll let them know that you are Yahikinde, Yahiki, that you come. Yahikinde, I'll tell them. How good would that be, right? I think that'd be awesome. Very, very awesome. At all these government places, like the school, receptionist, at the gas bar, we should actively promote that every time we go to these places. You see the takojas there. Dakota yauchakep, the little phrases. Not Dakota, I think that would be fun to do that. Last year, I had committed myself to do that. From now on today, all I'm going to do is talk Dakota. Dakota in this community. I failed to hold up that part of my not an agreement, but what I wanted to do. Because I know I'm going to have a difficult time conversing with somebody, So rather than doing that, I chose to just remain as a teacher, if you want to call it that. Somebody that uses the language. Somebody that that talks about it and tries to teach. Every day somebody's texting me every day. How do you say this? I always respond in a good way. This is how you say it, or this is how you write it. This is what it means. This is how you should say it. These kinds of things. Every day. So I know, I know that there's people out there, Anana, Tiwaha Iapi, Hina. Some are interested, they just don't come out and say it outright. Ta'iya, visibly, ta'iya, ayapshni, they don't say it visibly. But I know there's interest there. So hina on minihed michye. Those are the reasons hina on minihed michye. I take courage and to try to continue. To teach the language. because I know there's interest there. Because I know the next 7 generations, they're going to need it. That is why I'm doing it. It's important, very, very important, that we continue this work. But again, it's up to you to take it, to grasp it. Iachukte. Nunkte niya, you're going to use it. Speak it well. Knowing that you're preserving what was agreed to between the federal government and Dakota. These services that are coming into the community that we enjoy are going to remain, because you're going to protect it by using the language. And these are the things that whenever language comes up, Dakota, when they speak about this language, I remind them of these things. So I will keep on doing that. Yesterday I talked about the daily conversation that we're used to. Well, in the mornings, there's only a few sentences that we speak in Dakota Iapi. The spoken Dakota word in sentences, there's only a few of them that will convey how you are, where you're going, what you're going to do today. Know those, and repeat it every day. Takar osnike. It's cold outside when you're sitting at the breakfast table, wayatapi in the morning. Takar osnike. It's cold outside. Takar wahi hai. In this case, it's generous. Takar wahi hai osnike. Chosya ihdui. Chosya means insulated. Chosya ihdui. Insulate yourself. Akan umpi tanka. Akan umpi tanka. Wear your big coat. Takar usnike. These kinds of short sentences. Gas bar hechia bedekte. You can use gas bar if you want. Gas bar hechia bedekte. I'm going to go to the gas bar. Iapi tib hechia bedekte. I'm going to go to the administration building. Iapi the yakab hechia bedekte. Iapi tib, that's the Indian Affairs Administration building. Hechia bedekte. I'm going to go over there. Chief wabadakik. Then you're talking to somebody, one of your family members. Yeah. And you use those every day. Ish aguyapi maninche. Bread I'm without. Aguyapi is bread. Maninche I don't have. Bread I don't have. Aguyapi maninche. Or wakhpe, tea. Wakhpe maninche. Tado maniche. Tado is meat. Tado maniche. Otue bedekt. I'm going to go to town. You can say Walmart if you want. Walmart hechia bedekt. Tado maniche. Aguyapi maniche. Wakhpe maniche. Walmart hechia bedekt. Opewa tunkte. I'm going to buy these. Opewa tunkte. You use these every day. Once you learn it, you use it every day. And you encourage your family members to use it also. That is how you're going to retain the language for the future. Chtayetu in the evening. After supper, you might be sitting around. Now you got nothing to do. There's no game on TV. You might think, I'll go to the gaming center. Throw a few dollars in there. You might talk to your family about that. And you can say something. Ito, Ito de gaming hecha bedekta. You can use gaming if you want. Ito de gaming hecha bedekta. I'm going to go to gaming. Mazaska, money. Mazaska tonakchaked, some denominations. Mazaska tonakchaked, washkatikt. I'll play a few dollars. Tonakchaked, a few. Washkatikt, I will play. Mazaska tonakchaked, washkatikt. I'll play a few dollars. Gaming hecha bedekte. Or Winnipeg hecha casino bedekte. I'll go to the casino in Winnipeg. I'll go to the casino in Regina for the weekend. Mazaska tonakchaked washkatikt. I'll play a few dollars for my enjoyment for the evening. Iokpia with good heart. Chante washtea, good heart. Washkatikt. Mitakoda, my friends. Mitakoda, ob, with ob. Washkatikt. Pijuta sapa, coffee. Uyatkamt. Wohundakapt. We'll visit. Tea toka. Tea toka is, tea is, comes from the word tipi. Tipi. Tea. Toka is a different place, a different location. Tea toka means a different place, a different location, a different house. Tea toka bedekta. I'm going to go to a different house. Tea toka makekta. Tea toka makekta. I'm going to sit at a different house. That implies a visitation, visiting. Titoka bedekte. Titoka uyankapte. We will sit in Titoka. We'll visit. We'll talk. Bijuta sapa uyankapte. Good heart, good mind. Washte. That is what at the gaming. You know. So you go to the gaming, mazaskaya shkate. Somebody might ask you, oh, did you win? Oh, just. Or you might say, hiya, oh, yishni. Now you're going home sad because you didn't, oh, yishni. Mazaska ohiwa, I want some money. Mazaska ohiwa yishni, I did not win money. Tka iokpia washkate, but I enjoyed myself playing. And that's the main reason people go to gaming, to enjoy themselves, titokan, to visit, to have coffee or whatever. A good evening. Good evening. I like these kinds of things. So these are words and sentences that could be used in these different places. There's a Wayawa teepee over there. The school. These are the school receptionists. These are once you walk in. Same words. The receptionist might say, tuwe wayagiyahi. Or ho, tuwe wayagiyahi. Who did you come to see? You might go to see the administrator or one of the teachers. You'll mention name or whatever. Hey, wayagwahi. I come to see that person. Ho, iataka wo. Toshta wakipunkta. Oakiakikta. I'll send notice. I'll call them. Wayagiyahi. You come to see him. Iataka. So the same kind of words are used at the school, as I used at the administration, as I used at the gas bar, and at the gaming center. If the gaming center receptionist would come and see me, oh, dokudyan, washtero nishta, dokudyan, washte. Mazaska washkatik dawahi. You have to play some money. Like this, you know. Once you learn those, then you just apply it. You just keep on saying it. You practice with your tahanshi or whomever, you practice it with somebody. Perfect it or close to perfection and go and use it, you know. Somebody will answer you. So I give that encouragement. I'll keep on saying these things so that you will learn. You'll commit yourself, commit yourself to using the language. That's how much I will say for now. Break.
Iho ito bitakia pi hichi ure anakop tanakapi. Waiting, for the class to start, but some things had come up, and we had some discussions regarding the the language, and that's why we were off air for a while. But we will be back on air again next week. Tomorrow we are going to be off because of things that will be happening in the community, and unfortunately, we won't be here to do what we need to do. So next week we will continue. Like every other community, there's always something that's happening, and out of respect, we try and accommodate, what's happening out there. So I'm deeply sorry, for keeping some people waiting, to come on with the language, but I'll end this in a good way, and we wish you the best, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you, Pidamapia.